Hi, and welcome back to my channel. Today is day 10 of the 10-day sketchbook challenge. Yay! Made it to the finish line. Hopefully, if you are following with this journey, you've made it to the finish line. And yeah, so this is the last day of the 10-day sketchbook challenge. And there was a bit of a break in between day 4 and day 5, but I am slowly kind of getting into the groove. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about was YouTube. Part of the reason why I did a 10-day sketchbook challenge, the first day I had mentioned that I'm just not one for doing 30-day challenges. I'm not one for doing 365-day challenges. And we'll see how the 100 days of making comics will go. But part of the reason is the fact that I am just really busy. And I also tend to work in sort of like a bulk set. I don't really work in this daily kind of thing because I don't know how I'm going to feel the next day. And there's some days that I just do not have time because, for example, on Thursdays, I literally will wake up from 7 and will not get home until 9:30, 10 o'clock at night because I'm at work or at a meeting. And in between that, I have to somehow fit in eating and taking a shower. So it's definitely not something that I could do on a daily basis, which is making art and comics. But also, the other thing that I wanted to kind of like work on and making it short is dealing with making videos for YouTube and just getting used to how to upload on YouTube and finding music for it. There are just so many things for YouTube. So perhaps you might think that, hey, maybe I would like to make a channel or a video vlog and all those things. And I highly suggest you do something that's consistent in terms of theme, but is actually pretty small and short for the exact same reasons that I decided to go with something small and short. One was to have a notion of what I'm supposed to do for the next videos, because sometimes coming up with ideas for videos are very similar to art block. You just don't know what to talk about. You don't know what the next video should be. The other thing is coming up with like an aesthetic or a formula for uploading your videos. One of the things was coming up with thumbnails, and I've looked about, tips and tricks for doing YouTube thumbnails, and it seems that I probably still need to like reference and research more about that. So that's the other aspect about doing something short. I found out that I had a lot of other areas that I could work on. So sometimes if you're gonna tackle something or tackle multiple things at the same time, it's better to make it as like a short kind of thing to do. So in the 10-day sketchbook challenge, one was trying to kind of work on the preliminary work for my comic, but mostly to get used to talking, just talking in general, getting used to talking for an audience that's going to see my recording. Another thing is getting used to editing the audio and things that I might need for the audio. I say a lot of and I actually have a lot of pauses where I just say nothing for a long time, and I just got used to cutting out a lot of those things. I also talk very, very, very slowly. And so I know when I was listening to the playback, I was like, my goodness, I just sounds like a sluggish person. So I tend to like speed up the audio a little bit, just quick enough so it sounds more natural, like how I naturally speak. But for some reason, when I'm going to be speaking into a mic, I tend to talk really slow because I'm trying to think of how to best explain what I'm saying, and it just, I don't know, I speak much more natural when I'm speaking face to face. That's something else I learned about myself. The other thing is the fact that I bought a really cheap mic, and that's only because I didn't know if I would continue to do this, like if it's something that I want to do. And during the 10-day sketchbook challenge, I had numerous other challenges that had nothing to do with the actual sketchbook, but things about making videos and stuff for YouTube that I've learned about, and I've done this now where the consistent amount of videos where I know that, you know what, I think I do want to go ahead and head on and continue to make more videos despite the challenges and the time commitment that goes into making videos. So I didn't put too much money into buying, let's say, a really nice $100 or $200 mic. I did practice about bootlegging it, where you get like, my mic cost me like $15. You probably could just use the mic on a good phone, like a nice phone or a nice tablet. But I decided to get a little external mic because it's really awkward for me to hold a phone or the tablet up to my mouth. And that's the thing about getting cheaper microphones, is that you really need to talk into it. I also realized the challenge of finding a time of day to really record this. I really need a quiet area. I also was like testing out areas of which I could record and how good it'll come out. So I've recorded driving to work, because I have like a 30 to 40 minute commute each way, to see how good the sound quality would be. And it wasn't too bad, but I had to clean up a lot of the noise. And this being already a cheap microphone, I know for a fact that I definitely am not going to do that again. But it's not that easy for me to record at home either, because for one thing, the building's made out of like cinder blocks or whatever, so my voice kind of echoes, so I need to find a place where the voice doesn't echo. One of the tips and tricks that I've looked up was recording inside your closet, and I have not recorded inside I've done it once, and I don't think the sound quality is different enough, again, because I'm using such a cheap microphone that needs me to sit inside the closet. But I do know that there's certain times of the day that is better for me to record because there's not that much traffic outside, so you don't hear it through the walls. My neighbors are probably out and about doing something. One of the best things is probably getting used to the right distance for me to talk into the mic versus, not to hold the mic too far away, but not to hold it so close that you could hear all the popping sounds, because I don't really have like that little screen that nullifies the pop sounds. And again, this is a cheap mic. I guess, general other things about talking and things like that. What are the challenges that I find? I'm getting used to editing videos. For now, I'm using something very simple, Microsoft Movie Maker, and getting used to that actual software. I've made videos, or a video for Kickstarter, where you have all like the pan and zoom shots and things, and perhaps I'll get back to that program if I recall what it was again. It's some kind of freeware. That was pretty good, and I got used to that a little bit. But yeah, you don't need something overly elaborate if you're just doing like art recordings while you're talking. Now that I do find that making a video is an enjoyable thing, still learning how to do a good like thumbnails and stuff like that. I do enjoy making the video. I do enjoy editing the audio. I'm finding that vlogging video recording of a vlog instead of writing is pretty cool. The other thing is the fact that a lot of times for some reason, I can pick up the recording of me breathing into the mic. So I've learned ways to not breathe into the mic. I find that standing helps also. And if I am going to breathe into the mic, that I make sure that I'm silent before I breathe in and then silent after, so that way I have a very easy area to cut off that piece of the audio. Other thing about YouTube that I'm still learning, and that is things like how to upload, how to properly name or title my videos, putting in a proper description, finding copyright-free music, just in general, getting used to like uploading on YouTube, and just get used to, I guess, schedule and coming up with ideas. And of course, 2 or 3 days, maybe a year, even like a year or two down the line, you could always like revisit a topic that you've covered. I know there's a couple of topics that I've already mentioned in the 10-day challenge that I want to go back to and expand. And of course, I've gotten a few little comments here and there that ask a few questions. I definitely have to say that this 10-day challenge was not only a challenge of coming up with a sketchbook and giving me something to do, but also to knowing how to deal with YouTube. So now we finished this 10-day challenge, and pretty soon I'll get into the 100-day of making comics challenge. I know for a fact, based on looking at some other people working in the challenge, that updating daily is just not going to happen. Just enjoying it. So if you're thinking yourself of maybe I should upload some YouTube videos, go ahead and do so. As you can see, at this point in time of this upload, I don't have that much subscribers. I don't have that much viewers either, but I do find that this is interesting and fun to do, and something cool to share with others. So long as you have a minimal type of production quality, which is people can actually hear you speak and people can actually see what you're working on, then after that, the rest of it is good. It's been an interesting journey, and thank you for watching and following along. Hopefully you could, subscribe and see out my next videos and see how I go about in creating more YouTube content. Otherwise, leave a comment or a question below and I'll try to get back to it. You could easily find more of my work by Googling Cetriya, Cetriya, or clicking on any of the social media links that I have listed below. So thanks again for joining, and see you in the next journey.